Stellaris Nemesis, the beautiful animations, or Dev Diary 203 VFX. What is this about? It's about watching together beautiful animations for the Nemesis Titan, the Aetherophasic Engine, and a star explosion from the Star Destroyers. Let's just begin. While 3D artists are sculpting and creating cool 3D models, he's pretty much simulating planes and telling them in which direction to travel and changing the size and color over the time. It's about these cool effects, the cool and interesting stuff. Let's have a look at the great effects. As you see, it wanders over here, then it loads up, and boom! With an explosion it goes away. So the big effects, in other words, the system effects. Another thing that we may have noticed is that they've added quite a few different system effects over the last year, such as nebulas, space storms, and the endgame crisis system effects when they're expanding their territories. Like, for example, you might have heard the sounds of the brethren that gnaw on the universe. You can also hear them at the galaxy screen after a while, if there's too much of them going around. They've added new system effects with Nemesis, such as the Aetherophasic Engine frame that they've mentioned in an earlier Dev Diary. When upgrading, you'll get a system effect that changes through the different stages, getting bigger and more powerful the higher the stage you'll get in the Aetherophasic Engine. To really show, we'll see it. How is it made? System effects are one of those effects that most of the time are a mix of particles and 3D models. That should be the 3D model. Sheer size of them requires more complex shape than what you can get with only particles. So the effect below is created with the help of these meshes that you can see in the image below. This one, looking rather enigmatic for now. And then they'll apply some animated shaders on them that creates the movement of the textures that you can see in the video. And on top of that comes some particles, which is of course probably big work, and you get a complete effect. So you see the Aetherophasic Engine. You can see he's speeding the process up, and now it starts to ripple out. Like if you throw a stone in the water. It's upgrading again with dark matter, and it envelops the system now. And has even more going on. Now tentacles come. These tentacles are represented by these strings of energy that come and spread towards, and you see all the lightning going on here. It's loading up ever more. So for the final we have destroying a star. Finally the highlight is blowing up the stars. It's made of a few different parts that charge up, that rely mostly on the animation of the Star Eater with some glow in the middle of it. Then comes the firing stage, which is a pretty big effect. It goes through different stages in strength that helps with creating more of a build-up until the explosion. First, while prototyping, it was a full power at once, which looked cool but didn't create the anticipation for the explosion. Only ended up looking at a cool effect for 20 seconds without any build-up or knowing how close it is to firing. So they added a little visual story to it. Ended up splitting the effect in different stages and added or tweaked parts of it to make it really feel like you're getting closer to blowing up the star. And last but not least, the star explosion. The explosion pretty much speaks of itself. His favorite effect. Now let's go for the destruction of a star. You see that the Star Eater is nearing here. It's positioning itself above the star, spreading out its little rectangular wings, moving in circles, and starts to glow with a very small thing. It's probably loading its energy up. Loading up even more. Collecting the energy, focusing it from all the times, and now boom! The first attack on the star sends ripples through the system. The star is starting to dissolve. Now it goes into even more ripples, and it's going some fireworks. Even more, but the structure is still there. There's multiple explosions, and now, zooming out, you see more. What's coming now? Can you see it? Boom! Gigantic fireworks. That's the supernova. And as you see, these little planets start to glow and become molten, even broken. Now, the system is dead. We have become Death, the destroyer of worlds. Next week, there's going to be script improvements that are coming in the next update, and script improvements hopefully includes events, stories, things like that. That's one of my favorite things to look at. So I'm looking forward to next week too. Have a great time until then, and happy gaming. What are you looking forward most in Nemesis? See you soon, and happy gaming.